Welcome to this bioenergy workout for winter. Start with your feet under the shoulders, palms over the lower abdomen. We're just going to start with a little deep abdominal breathing. So breathe slow and deep through your nose. Feel your abdomen move with that breath. In this routine, we're going to work on building the energy of the Dan Tian here, as well as building the energy in the kidney network. We're also going to open the waist and lower back and strengthen the lower body. Just a few more deep breaths here, connecting to that Lower Dan Tian region between the navel and the pelvis in the center of the body. Feel your breath there. Good, let's release and move into our first exercise called Knocking on the Door of Life. Great one to open up the lower back and waist. Start to open up the spine in general. That backhand, as it comes across your lower back, hit the low back muscles next to the spine. So don't hit the back of the hips and don't hit the spine itself, but hit the lower back muscles next to the spine. That hand should be about level with the navel. That front hand is coming across the front of the body in the exact opposite way, slapping across the belly and waist. We're just giving the spine a little twist. We'll even add a little more twist here, looking over the shoulder. It's really wringing out the spine. If this bothers your knees in any way, try to not turn your hips and just turn from the waist. This one wakes up our energy. Wakes up the energy of the kidneys. We associate with the water element, which associates with the season of winter in Qigong, Chinese medicine. All right, this next one is called the pump. Another good one for the lower back. We're going to lift the hands up and then drop them down and back, bouncing the knees twice as we do so. So we bounce once, bounce twice. We bend, straighten. Little bounce in the knees. Let's add our breath as well. Exhaling as we come down, inhaling as we come up. Pumping through the legs, feeling a little opening in the shoulders, chest, lower back. Let's bring it back to the center. That one should have got you a little warmer. Next, we're going to step out wider. Forgive me as I slowly find this horse stance, trying not to sink another 2 feet into the snow here. So your feet are about double shoulder width. You're going to bend your knees, bring your hands on your thighs near your hips. You're going to turn to one side, drop your chest down to that thigh, sweep over to the other thigh, and then lift up. Stay facing that direction, and then reverse it. So it's a sweep of the chest across from one thigh to the other. We call this one the dog wags its tail to clear excess heart fire. Let's do it with our breath. Let out a breath. Out the mouth as you come down, in the nose as you come up. Take a long sigh out the mouth. Here on this one, as we open up the kidney area of the body, opening up the low back and waist, which is where you want to feel a little stretch and opening here. So push off that thigh as you come across. As we open up that kidney energy, we build the water type qi in the body, which helps to balance the fire type qi of the heart. Now we're going to do a little different version, coming down just to the center and lifting up from the center. So we come to one thigh, sweep to the center, and then come up straight from the center. And we just keep reversing directions. Exhale down to the center, inhale up. Still using that heart fire clearing breath. As we open the waist, you notice my legs don't move here. All the movement's from the waist. This is going to open up that kidney energy. Notice my knees stay a little bent, so I'm building some strength and heat in the legs. Okay, step back in. Take your hands over the head. Draw them down like you're gathering steam to your lower Dan Tian. We're going to cross the fingers over each other and touch the tips of the thumbs together. And just make a very slow, mindful circle here, just below the navel. Take a few deep, slow breaths through the nose, just like when we started. And just imagine that the heat we've built in the body from the legs is like steam moving around and through the body, and we're just spiraling that steam in, condensing it like we're forming a water droplet in the lower abdomen. Then we'll fold the hands there. And again, just take a few deep breaths to the lower Dan Tian. This lower Dan Tian, you can think of like an anchor for the mind and emotions. Like we sink our energy below the heart and the brain to this place of inner quiet and stillness. Let's release the hands. We're going to go through that one more time. Take those legs out again. If you're also standing on top of a few feet of snow, step carefully. Bend your knees, sink your hips, hands on the thighs with the fingers wrapped over the front of the thighs and the thumbs wrapped around the back. And we'll enter our dog wags the tail motion with our heart-clearing breath. In the nose, out the mouth, long sigh. Again, noticing my legs aren't moving at all. My knees don't collapse inwards and follow my body. The knees are staying pressed outwards, and you can even use the hand to push off the thigh slightly as you come to the side. Feel that create a little length and opening in your waist. I actually snowshoed out to this little location. And you can see I tried to tamp down the snow so I could stand on it, but there's still about 2 feet of snow under me that wants to have me sink into it. Now let's find our second variation where we just come to the center, same breath. Very good. And step back, shoulder width again. Float the hands up like they're rising on the steam. Exhale down, gather the steam to the lower abdomen. Cross the fingers over each other. The fingers are straight. The tips of the thumbs touch. And you're just going to do a very small, very slow circle. I always notice people are tempted to go quicker on this circle. Make it very slow and mindful. Bring your attention into the lower abdomen. These hands are like a magnifying glass, concentrating our attention. Gradually concentrating the steam into warm water. Fold the hands there. Breathe to the lower abdomen. Allow your awareness to sink below the fluctuations of thought and emotion, down to this anchor of stillness where we collect the yin energy of stillness. Winter is such a good metaphor for this stillness and inner quiet we're cultivating. So feel free to practice this any time of year. This next one, the feet are a little narrower, maybe hip width or narrower. We're going to slide the hands down the back of the legs and just do a little pulse in and out of this stretch. So we fold and stretch, and then bend the knees and look up, flat in the back, and then again, straighten the legs and stretch. Then we're going to end with brushing up the inside of the legs, wrapping the hands to the lower abdomen again. Just taking a couple deep breaths here. So our hands on this exercise follow the water channels, the kidney and bladder acupuncture meridians. This water type energy of the body connects strongly to the Dan Tian. Let's come back to the low back, slide down the back of the legs. Take an inhale as we bend the knees and look up. Exhale as we straighten the legs and stretch. Inhale, bend the knees, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs and stretch. If you need to hold the hands a little higher up the leg as you do this, that's totally fine. Come to the inside of the legs, brush up to the lower Dan Tian again. A couple deep breaths here. As we nourish the Dan Tian, we nourish that water type quality of energy. Water we use as a metaphor for the feeling of tranquility, inner stillness, our energy returning inwards and downwards. Should we say it's like a metaphor for the season of winter as well. Let's give our body a little shake. Feet can be about hip to shoulder width here. And just use the shaking generated by the feet and legs to just relax the upper body, the hips, the glutes, the wrists, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. You can let out a few of those sighing breaths here as well, just clearing any stressful, emotional energy from the body. Even as we sigh out the mouth, we continue to try to breathe in through the nose. Now, don't ever let this keep you from your Qigong practice. If your nose is plugged one day, you can do all the breathing through the mouth. But in our ideal scenario, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth when we want to release stuck or negative energy, and breathing in through the nose and out through the nose when we want to circulate and build positive or desirable energy. Let's let that come to a close. And check your feet. They should be hip to shoulder width here, whatever's comfortable. Even a little wider than shoulders can be okay for some people. We're going to take our palms face down, about shoulder width, maybe a little wider. You notice my elbows are just slightly floating out away from the body. Here we're going to enter a standing meditation. I call this type of practice Jianzhuan, or standing like a tree. So the knees are a little bent. The tailbone is sinking down like we're sitting onto a bar stool or like a big yoga ball under our butt. The palms are face down like each palm is resting on a balloon that's floating on the surface of a pond. The elbows just gently float away from the ribs, as though there's a tennis ball under each armpit. The fingers are slightly spread as though there's a marble between each knuckle. And as the tailbone sinks towards the earth, the crown of the head pulls gently up towards the sky, the head slightly rotating forward as the chin tucks back. And just take some deep, slow breaths here. Maybe finding that breath to the Dan Tian again. Just practicing some general mindfulness. Let your mind just be aware of the feelings of your body and breath. It's okay to have your eyes gently open, looking straight ahead or maybe down slightly at the floor. But don't try to focus on your vision. Just let your vision be broad and open. It's also okay to have your eyes closed. Focus primarily on the feeling of breath and body, and maintaining these little alignment cues. These standing meditations are designed to build energy in the body, to light up the structure of our connective tissues, so that Qi energy circulates and moves and builds throughout the body. You might find you get warm when you do these, not just because they're a little challenging muscularly, but because you're actually increasing your metabolism. The body's producing more energy, and as more energy is produced in each cell, it flows through and between each cell. As that energy flows through the body, it creates a field of energy around the body. You might begin to feel this flow and this field animating the posture over time, so that it feels as though the body is held in position by the strength of these electromagnetic fields. And this doesn't just hold your overall body and posture in a healthy position, but it holds each cell in a healthy position. It holds all the tissues and organs in their proper position. In Qigong, we call this a sense of fullness. We are filled with energy, and the energy animates all the structures of our body, from the most microscopic to the larger structure of our entire posture and bones and skeleton. This energy fills up gradually, so have your patience as you hold this. If you're new to Qigong, this might be very difficult already holding it this long, so give yourself patience. You can take breaks as needed. But either way, we're going to move into our next exercise with the right hand across your low back. The left hand is up. You're going to scoop through the bottom like you're scooping up water from a lake, and then come back across the top. Now, I find it's nice to have the legs on a little bit on the wider side on this one, so just outside the shoulders, I think feels better here. You're going to come down and scoop, and as you come across the top, your palm turns away from you. As you come through the bottom, you're scooping again. It's like you're scooping up water, then looking at the palm Palm turns away. We're going to exhale through the bottom, through the nose here, and inhale over the top, also through the nose. Exhale through the bottom. Inhale over the top. This is a nice one, again, to open up the lower back and hips. But here we get a little more into building and circulating energy. This is meant to move energy through the kidney channel. Let's move the hands to the other side. So now the back of your left hand is across your lower back. Should be just behind your navel if you can reach that high. Again, we exhale through the bottom with the right hand. Inhale over the top. You'll notice there's a little weight shift. Wherever the hand is going, we're shifting our weight to that side. So we shift our weight to the right leg, shift our weight to the left leg, shift our weight to the right leg. We have a strong hinge from the hips, and this one you can even round the back a little bit. Collecting that water. Again, water we use as a metaphor for the feeling of inner stillness and tranquility. Water's ability to receive, to yield, to reflect. We say represents the yin nature within us. All right, bring it back in, feet about shoulder width again. We're going to take one palm, let's say the left palm under the navel, and the right palm paints a circle, and then we switch. The left palm paints a circle going up the right, down the left, and then palm face up under the Dan Tian. Right hand goes up on the left, down on the right, and under the Dan Tian. Call this painting a Zen circle. So the hand is like a paintbrush, fingertips like bristles painting through the air, painting a Zen circle. We're going to inhale as we come up, exhale down and under the Dan Tian. Inhale out and up, exhale down and under the Dan Tian. Just keep switching hands each time. One hand under the Dan Tian, the other hand reaching out. And here you might imagine more like mist or steam, like we're reaching out, gathering the mist, and bringing it into the Dan Tian, where again it settles and forms water. One hand reaches out and gathers the mist, the other hand is holding that water in the Dan Tian. Water representing this capacity to feel sunk and settled in our energy. Sunk towards this anchor point, just like water. When it rains, the water will sink through the earth down to the deepest point it can find, flows down the river to the depth of the ocean. The same way our water type of Qi helps us to feel a sinking feeling. Not a negative one like depressed, but a feeling of being relaxed and settled. It's going to be very good for people with issues with stress or anxiety. Now with the palms face up there, just take a few deep breaths. Both palms are face up, one over top the other. Just breathe into your lower Dan Tian area. We'll just close down with our pulling down the sky. Exhale, draw the hands down in front of the body. Inhale, float up to about the height of the forehead. Exhale, do a little body scan. The hands are guiding your awareness through the body from head to toe. Inhaling back up. Exhale, body scan downwards. And just helping the energy to sink by scanning through the body, not trying to push or force any energy to move, but just moving some passive awareness through the body from head to toe. This will naturally help a release and sinking of energy through the body. Good, release. We're going to step in our closing posture we call bamboo in the wind. Here the feet are very narrow, about as narrow as they comfortably can. The hands are folded just below the navel. And we're going to allow ourselves to just rock and sway gently here. As though you're a pine tree here out in this mountain landscape. And you're just moving with the gentlest breeze. A breeze so gentle and subtle. You can barely feel it, but the whole tree yields to it. This breeze really symbolic of the flow of energy throughout the body. We yield to that flow. That flow is subtle, like the softest breeze. So you have to relax to feel it. We're going to step back out, shoulder width, and we'll just consolidate the chi to the Dan Tian, finding this posture called the monk holding the pearl. We have both palms on top of the other, palms face up. The tips of the thumbs are touching here, forming a little circle between the thumbs and hands. We hold that just below the navel, sinking the tailbone, breathing into the lower abdomen. So your energy and awareness are condensing into a pearl just below the navel in the center of the body. Take a breath in, release with a sigh, and just let the energy spread through the body. Then we're just going to tap down the inside of one arm and up the outside, to the other side, down the inside of the arm and up the outside, just making sure the energy is circulating here. Come down from the armpit to the hip on both sides, to the low back. Then we're going to tap down the back of the legs, up the inside of the legs, to the belly, where we'll circle the belly. This is making sure that this energy we've built isn't stuck anywhere. Take a breath in again, let it go with a sigh, letting the energy spread to the fingers and toes and all out into your energy field and even your environment. Hope you enjoyed this routine. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And also you can leave a comment letting me know if there's other videos you want me to create. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you'll see my new videos as they come out. Also, a couple times a year online, I run a Qigong teacher certification program. So if you're hoping to teach Qigong to your friends, family, or as a business, or just learn more about Qigong for yourself, go to nicklawfrey.com, link below in the description, to learn more about when the next one starts and what's involved.